Hi there, it's me again, Nick Brooke, and I've got another new book to show you. This time it's the Jonstown Compendium Catalogue. This is a comprehensive listing of all the products brought out on Chaosium's community content site for RuneQuest and the world of Glorantha in the first 2 years of its operation. So it's an outgrowth of my earlier products, the Jonstown Compendium Scenarios and Sourcebooks list, and the Jonstown Compendium Index, which has been updated throughout 2021. And the thing is, the Jonstown Compendium Index started off in 2021 as a list of here's everything new this year and everything that's a bestseller from previous years, because that was the easiest way of saying, you want to find out what's great on the site, here's how you can do it. This includes everything, not just bestsellers, so it's comprehensive. It's divided into 7 major categories, which are RuneQuest scenarios, Glorantha sourcebooks, stuff written for the game Quest Worlds, which used to be called Hero Quest or Hero Wars. And then there's 4 other categories, which are the Monsters of the Month by Austin Conrad and his team, the Zenith counters, virtual tabletop tokens from Dario Carallo, Davide Quattrini's short adventure outlines, which are rather an unusual product, nobody else makes them like that. And finally, an everything else catch-up category, which includes maps and indexes, and I suppose random computer-generated things, and this, that, and the other, stuff that doesn't fit neatly into any other category. So what you get in here is, for any major release, it's got a full page saying what it is, who wrote it, how much it costs. There's some analysis of what's in the page count, so it lets you know how many pages of this scenario is text versus how much is RuneQuest stats versus how many blank pages or adverts or bits of front matter that nobody actually wants, but you have to put them in the book, are there. And it also summarises the bestseller medals. It's listed in order of bestseller medals, so the first things in each section are the gold bestsellers, or indeed the platinum bestseller. We just got one in under the wire, followed by electrum, and then silver, and then copper, and then the ones that haven't yet had the chance to get anything. It gives you a price per page of content, so that is excluding any front matter, adverts, blank pages, duplication, you name it. And it gives you, the last ranking element is how many 5-star top ratings has this product had. So they're listed in that order, and if you open a section, the first things listed will be the ones that have sold the most and that people like the most. So it's a pretty easy way of prioritising your Jonstown purchases, because we know your money matters to you, it's important. So this book is, just to be very clear about it, it's not the usual US letter size of many Jonstown Compendium books, and I took my evolution here from the Mainz Index to Glorantha, its big brother. This was the first edition Mainz Index in 1996. Customer feedback said, Rick, this is a lovely index, but it's too big. It is too big. We can't handle indexes with pages that big. So for the MiG-2, Rick brought it out in a much more dainty, handleable, 9 inches tall by slightly more than 6 inches wide, and as you can see, that last little bit there was really unnecessary. It wasn't helping anyone, so I shaved it off for this. And this book it's roughly the same relation to US letter as A5 is to A4, but slightly bigger, because the Americans haven't got the hang of this going by halves thing. Don't blame me, blame them. So as well as all of those product listings, and like when you get to the Monsters of the Month, the entries get shorter because the products get shorter, and similarly for the virtual tabletop tokens, where you see an example of what's in each set as well as what's in each set. And when it gets to the adventure outlines, it's possible I've written up more about them than the author did, but don't blame me. You can certainly see the big price per page markers flaring off the page there to keep you happy. And then at the back of the book, there's a few useful things. Everyone will be familiar by now with my Asterix the Gaul style map of where these scenarios are. For this edition, we got Dario Carallo to enhance it with that beautiful lunar standard you can see there, but it's otherwise the same as everything. Thing is, guys, if you were to set more scenarios in the sensible parts of Dragon Pass, like Lunar Tash, we wouldn't need decorations like this. Go on, get your act together. But also, there's the usual, when is this scenario set? So is it going to be something that can fit in with my campaign's established timeline? There's advice on how easy it is to change these things. There's advice on scenarios that are set at a particular time of year, like is it during the Harvest Festival? Is it in the deep midwinter? Is this a scenario about surviving in Prax, where obviously you want to do it at midsummer when things are as hot as they possibly can be? And then at the back, not a huge amount of the book, to be honest. There's a reference text of all the main Jonstown Compendium documents, so the Community Content Agreement, the content guidelines, which advise you on what you should be writing for the thing, and the frequently asked questions I helped to write, which are largely sarcastic, but I enjoy putting them together. And they give you guidance as to what we thought it would be nice to have on the Jonstown Compendium. And it finishes off with a few sales charts I shared earlier in Chaosium blog posts, and if you want a printed copy of those, you can get them here. So that's it, the Jonstown Compendium Catalogue. It's pretty cheap. I think it's $7.50 in print or $2.50 as a PDF. Unlike the index, this one is not going to be updated regularly. My plan is to come up with a updatable format to run through 2022 of 2022 new releases, and then a 2022 catalogue at the end of the year, bringing everything together, because quite frankly, the old index was getting a little bit unwieldy to maintain. It had those bestseller charts, as well as new product listings, as well as old bestsellers. There was a lot of plate spinning going on there, and I'm going to go with something more straightforward next year that assumes you've got the 2021 catalogue, and we'll go forwards from that with a new format that will eventually turn into the new bits of the 22 catalogue. So that's my plan. If you don't like it, don't buy the book. If you already own the Jonstown Compendium Scenarios and Sourcebooks 2020 December 31st edition, and the Jonstown Compendium Index 2021, the latest possible edition, and you've got easy access to the Jonstown Compendium core documents and blog posts that have been made over a couple of years, then you already know everything that's in this book, and you certainly don't need to buy it again. I don't want anyone to feel that I was going to write all new reviews. This is previous material, repackaged, added to and expanded in some ways, but it's definitely not a must-buy. However, if you haven't bought any of my previous indexes, this is the best place to jump in. It's comprehensive, it's complete, I'm a big fan, and there will be a new product updating throughout 2022 come the new year. Pleasure talking to you. Bye.